This video is brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. Be sure to subscribe and help get this video to 2,000 likes.
And I say, hey!
Arthur is doing rabbit blackface when DW comes in to stop the show. Arthur steps in to put things back on track, and even for an opening teaser, things are getting way too meta. Arthur and DW are fighting over the remote as DW refuses to give up the last minute of her TV time. DW changes the channel to TLC and gets enamored with an ad for a show about the perfect wedding. DW asks her dad if she can have a wedding, which he naively brushes off as he knows nobody will ever want to exchange vows with his overbearing offspring. DW goes to Emily to plan the perfect wedding, even though neither of them seems to know what a wedding really is, which makes absolutely no sense seeing how DW was the ring bearer for her Aunt Lucy's wedding. Emily lets DW borrow one of her nanny's dresses, which looks like a marmalade sandwich threw up on a shower curtain. DW decides to have the ceremony at the Crosswire house, and Muffy gleefully takes on the role of wedding planner. DW lies and says the wedding is for D-Woo, as she's worried Arthur might selfishly ruin her sham child marriage. DW tells Muffy she wants a high-concept fantasy-themed wedding with unicorns and rainbows. When Muffy asks who the groom is, DW randomly picks James, saying she wants someone who will do anything and everything she tells him. James, you poor bastard. DW is on cloud 9 until Muffy explains what a wedding actually is. Which again, DW should already know because she's already been to one. Muffy says it's too late to call off the wedding because even though she just printed out the invitations, she's scheduled the ceremony for tomorrow. That night, DW has a nightmare about being married to James and moving in with his family. But let's be honest, we all know James is way too good for this nitwitted knee-biter. DW decides to not show up, until her dad ropes her in to help cater for the reception. The Tibble tire fires go to get James for the ceremony, who apparently wasn't even told about being the groom. Backed into a corner, DW finally tells Muffy the truth. DW gets overwhelmed by the mess she created for herself and runs off in tears, but not before her father gets stuck with the bill. Instead of getting grounded for the rest of her life, DW is allowed to watch TV with Emily, who she says would still make a perfect bridesmaid.
Think you'll be available in about 20 years?
Look, it's been a hot minute since I was 24, but even then, I thought that was still too young to get married. The last thing we need is a full-grown DW with a wedding ring and the power to vote. Let's review. DW decided to throw herself a lavishly expensive wedding despite not knowing what a wedding is. She roped in her best friend to help make her delusional fantasy a reality, and conned Arthur's snobbiest friend into planning the whole ceremony. She once again dragged poor James into her schemes of romance. Not because she liked him, but because she knew he would do whatever she wanted. When DW found out what a wedding really is, she tried to back out until she was forced to confront the consequences of her own terrible decisions. Despite not going through with the sham marriage, DW's father was still forced to pay for the entire thing, which will likely put him and the Reed family in the red for the foreseeable future. And even though DW tried to trick another child into marrying her and bankrupted her father's catering company, once again, DW goes unpunished because I guess 11 minutes isn't long enough to include the ass-whipping she desperately deserves. F-U-D-W.
And I say, hey!
Hey, I have a Patreon. Sign up at patreon.com/mattneff to get your name in the thank you credits, along with early access to every FUDW and the chance to vote for future episodes. If there's a movie or show you'd like me to talk about, top-tier patrons can commission a review for my channel. Check out the link in the description to become an FUDW superfan. Also, I'm now on Cameo, so make sure to check out my profile to get a personalized FU video. Next time on FUDW...
Oh no! We can't go in there! I don't want all those girls to know I'm looking for a blankie!
And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. If you can learn to work and play and get along with each other.